Ever wonder if your Lincoln pennies from the 1960s may be worth something? Well, in this video we'll be taking a look at the top 10 Lincoln cent variety coins from 1960 to 1969. The first coin to look at is a very attractive repunched mint mark variety from fairly late on in the decade. The 1968 D over D coin is one of the more overt repunched mint marks from this decade, with the primary D placed directly east of the initial punching. The straight bar of that first strike, as well as the inner rounding of the D, can clearly be seen towards the west, with the lower serif even doubled quite nicely to boot. This latter detail should be visible even in the latest of die states or in the most worn down of coins. While the coin remains fairly inexpensive in lower grades, a nice high-grade example with a gem grade of MS66 Red from PCGS was sold at auction in 2019 for $239. Then, in the number 9 position is the first of no less than 4 coins from 1960 on this list. Being a transitional year for the penny, it is not surprising to see multiple varieties, but even so, a tripled die Obverse variety is something special. Now, the first thing I should note is that this triple die variety is only found on the proof coin for 1960 and not on the business strike coins. What we are looking at is in fact a large date over small date triple die Obverse. The best place to spot this is of course on the date, where the effects are most pronounced on the 9, the 6, and the 0 of 1960. The doubling will be spotted towards the right on all of these numbers, with the tripling expressing itself most towards the left to a much subtler degree. Liberty is also noticeably affected, where the clear effects can be seen towards the west of the letters, especially on the Y. As an added bonus, the coin should also have a very nice die gouge on Lincoln's chin just below the corner of his mouth. Now, in 2017, a proof 68 red example of this variety coin was sold at auction for the sum of $340, housed in a PCGS holder. Sticking with another proof coin for now, but this time it is the 1963 with a double die reverse variety instead. While the doubling on this coin is visible on most of the reverse design elements, the best place to look for it would be on the letters of America. The first and the last A should be doubled in much the same fashion, where the lower right serif is noticeably notched. The rest of the letters should display similarly as well. Then, in addition to that, the word cent of 1 cent should also be doubled as indicated here, with the N exhibiting the best overall effect. In 2019, a proof 66 red cameo coin from PCGS was sold for $500. For this 7th position, we head over to 1964 for yet another double die reverse variety. This time, the doubling is considerably more pronounced, and the class 2 doubling can be easily spotted on the letters of United States of America towards the rim of the coin. The word cent of 1 cent also shows the very same effect, with especially the N being quite pronounced in this regard. Now, furthermore, both the left and right foundations of the memorial building are doubled, again towards the rim of the coin. These characteristics all make this coin an excellent example of distorted hub doubling. 2016 saw the auction of just such a variety coin housed in a 30th anniversary PCGS slab with a grade of MS66 Red, which sold for $376. After that coin, we feature one from 1966, which to be completely honest, is rather easy to miss if you aren't paying close enough attention. Due to the pivot point on this coin being relatively low on the design, the date is doubled but may only appear in the form of additional thickness to the numbers on some coins. Inevitably though, the best place to detect the doubling would be on the word trust of "In God We Trust." The T should be noticeably notched towards the top right, and then the other letters, such as the U and the S, will also display effects of the doubling towards the southeast, due to the clockwise rotation that occurred during the second hubbing. As mentioned, this can be a somewhat challenging variety coin to locate, and as such, an MS64 red coin from PCGS was sold at auction in 2018 for $650. At the halfway point, we encounter an interesting double variety coin, which is simultaneously a double die obverse as well as a repunched mint mark variety. As a class 2 or design hub doubling, what we see here is the result of a die that was initially produced with a large date design and then completed with a small date hub. This is, as one would assume, noticeable on the date. Especially the 0, as that was the main focus and in fact the cause of the redesign. As for the repunched mint mark, the D was initially placed completely north and slightly tilted from the correct position, actually touching the 9 of 1960. It is faint, but should be noticeable on all examples of this variety. During 2018, an MS66 red graded example like this from PCGS was sold at auction for $600. For the number 4 slot, we head over to 1968 and the San Francisco Mint for the 1968S proof coin, where we encounter a double die obverse variety. While doubling can be seen on the letters of "In God We Trust," the date is the clearest indicator of this variety. The 6 as well as the 8 of 1968 are usually the clearest as well. Then Liberty is also doubled, mostly towards the left, with this effect detectable on most of the letters. The auction record for this coin stands at $517 for a proof 68 red graded coin from PCGS that sold at the 2015 ANA show in Chicago. As the second runner-up, we placed a 1960 proof coin with a small date over large date design variety. Not much to say about this really, the name pretty much says it all. Look at the date and it becomes very clear immediately that the small date was placed directly over the large date design to produce this variety. In addition to the BER section of Liberty, it is also doubled quite nicely towards the left. In 2014, a proof 68 red graded example of this coin was sold at auction for $1,824. Now, the next coin to be featured is literally the exact opposite of the coin in the number 3 position, in that this time it is a large date over small date variety instead of a small date over large date variety. Again, looking at the date, the small tip of the 6 can almost be seen peeking out from just underneath the larger one. Here, the large date design was used last and imprinted over top the small date to give the impression of more traditional doubling when compared to the previous specimen. Here too, the letters of Liberty are doubled, but this time the last 5 letters are doubled towards the right instead. During 2017, a PCGS graded proof 68 red coin was sold at auction for $840. And then, one of the most renowned and certainly one of the most sought after varieties in the entire Lincoln series is the venerable 1969S double die obverse cent. Somewhat reminiscent of the fabled 1955 double die coin, all of the letters on the obverse are doubled completely, achieving full separation in most cases. In God We Trust, Liberty, as well as the date all show the same effect that should be completely visible to the naked eye. The popularity of this variety cannot be understated, and this is a coin which is all but guaranteed to sell for thousands of dollars in virtually any grade. In 2018, a beautiful MS64 red graded coin in a PCGS slab was sold at auction for $126,000. Well, if you liked this presentation, then feel free to take a look at my other videos covering the other decades for this series as well. Subscribe to WNN and activate notifications with the little bell icon so you'll know when new videos are released. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman, saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and of course have a great day.